Welcome everyone to another stream from Twisted Dice. If you don't already know me, I'm Darren, and really appreciate everyone that's joined us today. It's going to be an interesting one because with a couple of things that's been on my mind, and a couple of things that I've seen over on the community with tournaments that's coming up. So that's going to be one of the conversations we're going to talk today. And this is something that I really need interaction from yourselves as well to find out what type of expectations that you guys expect from tournaments. So please think about tournaments, and it's like this part I really need like your input as well to make this work. Really need your guys input as well. So we're also going to do a quick update on what we've been working on the channel. Boy, it's been this week, it's been absolutely friggin' busy as hell. It's been absolute bonkers. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything in conversation. So it's, you know, in the studio, it's been absolute bonkers. It's been so much has been going behind the scenes to get ready for filming tomorrow. So first off, hey, tournaments and obviously battle reports are back on the damn menu, which is absolutely friggin' awesome. So it's really super psyched and excited that we're going to be able to do battle reports again. So we've got a really awesome one lined up tomorrow. Me and Ace are going to be recording in the studio, so it's going to be absolutely friggin' mental. Sorry, I'm not talking, I'm listening. No worries. Thank you for joining us on TikTok. Really appreciate it. By the way, if you're on TikTok, I'm also streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook as well. So if I don't answer you on TikTok, it's because I've got loads and loads of people joining at the same time, so I've got to try and figure that part out. But it's cool to have you guys along on a Sunday as well with us other guys and girls on Facebook and YouTube. Chat is very quiet this morning, so let me know if you're on and say hello. But again, thank you for everyone that's on the TikTok side as well. You guys and girls, absolutely friggin' awesome. So quick update with regards to what's been on the hobby table this week. So I've been working on, so by the way, I'm going to be doing no painting videos or anything like that. So there's going to be no painting videos, but just for the TikTok guys, that is one of the fellas I've been working on. Let's see if I can get that on there. And for you guys and girls at home, probably not that great. I'll be posting pictures up on Facebook later on how this fella's going on. But pretty much with this fellow, it was about trying to speed paint this as best I can. And so far to get to that standard, it's probably taken me what, an hour or so. So it's not too bad. Hey, welcome Matthew, much appreciated. So yes, he's taken out a night, but what we've done, or what I've been working on in the studio to make sure that the painting videos are the best I possibly can get it, made a little investment. So for you guys and girls at TikTok, you can probably see I've got a little boon arm just there, and hopefully I'll be able to show this on the channel as well, if I can. So this is a extendable arm that's attached to the wall itself. It's quite handy. So what that means for me, and means for yourselves as well, of course if you like my painting videos, but it allows me to get the camera right up into the actual action itself. So as I'm painting on the table, it means I can get a little bit closer and get more close-ups. Now the next thing that we've done is I've also purchased, by the way, I got a little bonus at work, so I was well happy. I managed to purchase these new Rode wireless microphones, and so far they look absolutely friggin' awesome. Like, so impressed with the way they work. Of course, we haven't recorded any battle reports yet, so that is going to be the mega part about it, making sure that that part works. Because if it doesn't, it's going to be absolutely friggin' a waste of money. They're not cheap, but hopefully for the sound quality. So this is more important for the battle reports. We want to make sure that the picture quality is absolutely outstanding, the best we can possibly get it, and we also want to make sure that the audio is the best we can get it. So we try to get it as studio professional level as best we can. So that brings me on to my next thing, and the next thing we brought out is, or the next thing I've got coming in the next couple of days, is upgrading one of our primary cameras as well. So the way we're going to record is a couple of battle reports ago that I think it's last year, we got 4 cameras in, and I positioned cameras in certain special ways to capture certain things, but it didn't quite work the way we wanted it to work. So over this last lockdown, it allowed me then to think about, because we're not recording battle reports, like how do we now, you know, produce better content that makes it more interactive for people. So what we've done is I've added, going to have 2 more cameras set up onto the side so it's facing into the table. We're going to have 1 main camera going on, but look, I'm going to say no more about it, because until I fully understand on exactly how I want the cameras to position, we'll only find out when our first battle report comes up. So next Friday, we're hopefully going to have an absolutely corker of a battle report for you guys and girls to enjoy. It's going to be a good one. I think we're going to be playing Tau. We're going to have Tau off against Orcs. I know at the moment, like in the Orky community, there's a little bit of debate about looters being overpointed and not being very good. And I also got a little bit stick as well, and this was absolutely blew my mind, that got a little bit of fat shaming going on as well in the Facebook community. So that made me think. So I got called a porky, but look, it is what it is. Like water of a duck's back, I don't really give a monkeys. You can call me whatever you like, I don't care. It don't really bother me at all. But hey, it is what it is, right? I've been called much worse of things. But going back to what I was saying, coming up next Friday, we're gonna have our first battle report. We haven't, you know, we're gonna have our first battle report going live again next Friday, and we haven't done one of these for like months now, absolute months, and I miss it, because like battle reports for us is where we first started from, and we really want to make sure that we get back into that. So let's see what's going on in chat. James, I wonder if the Sue's channel has a problem with Games Workshop. Oh, I don't know. I don't think they will. I thought a lot, no, because they do actually outsource a lot of it as well. Which one of your models that you made is your favourite? So my favourite model I've done is probably my Khorne Berserker, not my Khorne Berserker, sorry, my Khorne, God, my brain's gone like mush. Listen, don't get old. The older you get, the worse your memory gets, and the brain just doesn't function as properly. So the best model I've actually painted is probably my Bloodthirster. It's absolutely freaking awesome. It's appeared on Gibraltar GT, Gibraltar News as well. So it's claim to fame. Not only has it been on the YouTube channel, but it's also been on Gibraltar News channel. It's absolutely freaking awesome. Like the highlight of my weekend that week. So going down to obviously the over towards SN's battle reports, they do a exclusive tournament where it's like best painted armies get to apply to go along to it. And I've been to a few of them now, and then that one event they had the news, their local news channel come along, and they took pictures and they recorded it. It was like, hey, that's absolutely freaking awesome. Will, hello my friend, and Underdog, welcome. So yeah, so that's probably my best one. If you haven't already, check out on my Instagram, on my TikTok account, somewhere down there I've done a little video on what he looks like. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed on him. So what else have we got going on? Yeah, so that's the channel side, and so we're super excited on that. And of course we've also got, I've already told you about the camera. We've got one other new little feature. So as well as doing the painting video, so the last painting video that I've done, which I think was last week, one of the cameras was out of focus and absolutely complete the first part of that painting video up, and I was absolutely frigging fuming, because that was like the main one that was like booming down on the actual spray booth, so you could see exactly what was going on the table. So I've actually purchased one of these. Now it may not look much, but what this is, I can't even actually show you. Oh, can I? So this is going to serve us 2 purposes. One of the purposes is for this, is when you're setting up your shoot when you're recording. So when you're doing filming or anything like that, the idea upon this would be you set this device up, and this allows you then to basically adjust your cameras, how it's going to look on screen. So with this, because I'm quite limited with table space, before what I used to have was a Mac sat in front of me, or my laptop. But the only problem with that would be Grey Parrot, thanks for joining us, much appreciated. The only problem with the Mac or the laptop, you get the fan kicking in, so that will pick up on the mic, and it's like doesn't sound great. So with this, what this allows me to do is to see exactly. So as I'm painting, I can see exactly what I'm doing. So that just sit in front of me, just to make sure that we don't mess up on the next one. So that's a new little toy. But so yeah, that's that on that side. Don't really do reviews on that stuff on Twisted Dice. It's not really what we're about. But I thought look, it was cool, and I thought I'd share it with yourself. So that was really cool. So let's move over to the next thing. So tournaments, and this is the part where, hey Craig, thanks for joining us, my friend, much appreciated. So the tournament part is the next part where I really need your feedback, and feedback is always key. And I've been seeing a couple of pictures up on Facebook this morning where there's a GT going on. Now, I'm not going to name the GT, and I'm not going to name where it is, because as soon as I say it, it will just say exactly who it is that's doing it. But he posted up some pictures of their setup on their terrain, and wow, it was somewhat to be desired. So like for me now with 9th edition, it's all about the scenery, it's all about the terrain, and the terrain that was set up was a couple of like wire mesh fencing in the middle, a couple of barrels, and a couple of like buildings on the side. So the terrain was like somewhat to be desired. So my question to yourselves would be, if you went to a tournament tomorrow, what would you expect to be on the battlefield? How would you expect your 2 days or 3 days or your 1 day at that event? What type of terrain would you expect to see? What type of layout would you expect to see at that tournament? And more importantly, I suppose the next question would be, if you went to a tournament, because obviously the biggest thing now with the Games Workshop GT pack is you lose 10 points if you don't have a fully painted army, or to a tabletop standard army. And I don't mean it doesn't have to be Golden Demon winning, or it doesn't have to be like blinging, but it has to be painted. So the next question would be, what would you expect if you went to a tournament? What would you expect to see in regards to your opponent bringing onto the tabletop? So they're the two questions. So I'll give you a sec to think about it while I just have a little quick look upon chat, see if there's any more conversations. No, so TikTok's clear. And then Underdog, I need a camera, never had one and always use my iPhone. Definitely gonna get one of those for sure. When it comes to that, my friend, I'll help you out. When doing this channel, when I've asked for people for help and I've asked for advice on various things, I always get the cold shoulder, and no one ever wants to give out their little secrets or say what they've got or what they're using. They always give you some duff excuse, or they don't want to share. They don't want to share the magic, and we're not like that at Twisted Dice. So, my friend, when you're ready for it, if you need any help, I'm more than happy to help out. And by the way, my first battle reports that we've done, our first painting guides we've done, was all on the iPhone 6, which was absolutely friggin' bonkers when you think about it. But the only problem when you use your iPhone is it absolutely kills your battery. So when you're doing those painting videos, you'll notice that your battery will just die, and over a period of time, your battery will have less and less use out of it. And that's what I was finding with the iPhone 6. And then when we upgraded to the iPhone 7, we were still using the iPhone 7 to record battle reports, or I think Sean was at that time. But the problem was the battery life, because you're caning it on a constant session. The battery life on the phone it doesn't last long, so you'll find that you're constantly then, even though when you're not doing battle reports or recording painting videos, you find that you have less use out of your battery, and the battery itself just over time obviously is designed to wear out over a long period of time, but when you're doing that constant type of pressure upon it, the battery just lasts like hardly anything at all, and it sucks, and that's not really what you want. But of course, look, iPhones were never designed, or mobile phones were never designed to record a battle report or to record a long session on your painting videos. So it's an interesting one to think about. And like microphones, again, I've seen various different things, and like with ourselves at Twisted Dice, when me and Ace do stuff, we really think about, like, as soon as I record something, or I record like what we're doing now, I would actually go back and watch it and think, what do I like and what do I don't like. Hence, like the way the lighting is now situated on the thing. Not quite happy with the drop down light, the key light. But I'm very limited on the room I have from where the camera is to where I am here. But the light at the back, I've done research and looked upon other bigger YouTube channels, and I'm not specifically talking about YouTube channels on the gaming side, but like more review channels and seeing what they do. And one of the features, the effects I like, is that green glow. And believe it or not, all behind me is just a TV with the LED lights behind it. That's absolutely fantastic, by the way, when you're playing Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that. By the way, I don't get a chance to play much of it, but when I do, that light is absolutely friggin' awesome. So for TikTokers, you probably can't see it, but that's what I'm referring to back there. Yeah, so let's get back to the 2 questions that I asked. Oh, by the way, I wanted to at some point, what I'm also going to do is, you know, like you see radio stations where they have a call-in section where people have that opportunity to then call into the radio station. That's going to be my next question to yourself. What would be your thoughts upon that if I gave that as an opportunity to either, I don't know, do a Zoom call, phone call, or something like that, to join into the conversation that side? So I want that interaction to be more present upon the actual thing itself. So Will, channel ideas. You have 2 or 3 of your friends that can't paint. Well, did you take them from start finish and see the results like other classes? Yep, fair enough. When I started the SEO, I could use what I had, but years. Yeah, and look, do you know what, Will? In regards with the SEO, you're the same as ourselves. So when we do our Twisted Dice tournaments, everything, all the money that's been made on Twisted Dice tournaments to date, we haven't actually made a profit. Everything that's actually made on the tournaments is just gone straight back into the tournament. So like we brought new mats, new terrain. This last year we put, well, just before we was going into lockdown, I went into a little bit of debt myself because we brought one of the shops, or one of our friends we know has closed the shop, and we brought all his terrain and mats. So that like cost us like just over $2,000 just to buy him out of what he had. So that put us like in a massive great deficit straight away. Angry, thanks for joining us, my friend, much appreciated. So yeah, so it kind of sucks on that side, but for us it was never always about making money on the tournaments. It's about making that best experience as possible, plus it gives us great exposure for the YouTube channel as well, and that's what our primary goal is. I was kind of hoping we was going to talk about something even cooler today, about something big that's coming up later on, but I can't. It's not 100% confirmed yet. So I was like super excited. I was like, yeah, this is what we're going to talk about today, and I've got some really cool news, but we can't do that just yet, which is gutted. But look, it is what it is on that side. What else we got going on? In Ninth Ed, you cannot scrimp on terrain. More fundamental to the game, even if you need central line of blocks. Yeah, look. So Will's talking about like the L-shaped formation in the ITC format that we know before, and for me, 9th edition is all about the terrain, and terrain makes the armies more, I suppose, more evened out, because you've got shooting armies, you've got armies that can just absolutely annihilate your opponent off the tabletop. And I'm guessing with the terrain that I saw this morning, I looked upon it, I thought, actually, do you know what, look, that terrain is kind of shocking. I'm going to move that more towards there, and then I can kind of get more of what's going on and kind of capture everything. A little bit more there. So yeah, so with the terrain I saw this morning, it's like if you was playing that as a tournament style, you went to that tournament and you was expected to do well, and you were kind of banking upon the 9th edition terrain. All of a sudden, you're going to be disappointed because there was no line of sight blocking on there at all. It was absolutely frigging bonkers. And I really fear for whoever's going to go to that Pacific tournament. And by the sounds of it, it's going to be a big one as well. And that terrain looks absolutely frigging shocking. And I was like, yeah, I would absolutely die of embarrassment if someone turned up to one of our tournaments and it looked that bad. It was just shocking. Nick's put big obscuring piece of terrain in the middle, 2 to 3 pieces in deployment zone, plus craters, etc. I will populate with terrain. I expect face of fully painted army, first themes, not necessarily super high standard, but it should at least look like one army. And do you know what, Nick? I totally agree upon that as well. Nothing worse when you turn up to a tournament and you've kind of got like shared hammer. And look, I suppose in a way, look, 40k. We know Warhammer's expensive. Like, there's just nothing about it. It's just Warhammer is an expensive hobby, and I totally get that. But if you was to turn up to a tournament, and I think the best example I can give is I went to a tournament and someone turned up with 3D printed miniatures, and they were the what are they blooming called? It was the Custodes stuff, and he hadn't even stuck them together. It was just like propped them together like with bits of string, and I just looked at him. I was just like, is someone taking the absolute bejeeval out of me? It's just like, come on, mate. I just said to him, look, I just said, look, what was that? Just come off the printer, have you? Oh no, I've had it printed like last week. And I said, can you be bothered to paint it? But yeah, like that to me just that blew my head. I just spent like months and months painting up a nice army to play against, and I just saw that. It was just absolutely bocking, just absolutely crazy to see that. It was just a shocking thing. So yeah, look, 100% on that. And again, like when you turn up and someone's got like 3 different armies and they're trying to play it off as one fraction, that doesn't really work neither for myself. So yeah, totally agree with you on that, Nick. Thanks for that. Underdog's put, I have the iPhone 12 Pro. I'll PM you on. Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. And by the way, Underdog, it'd be really cool. I was going to reach out to you this week, but my lineup's been so frigging busy. Reach out to you if you want to do a live stream with me one weekend as well, and we can get together and we could do one of these if you want. So then Nick's purred. So let's go to TikTok. Wait, it doesn't block line of sight. Oh, never mind. I was confused. Look, mate, it's easily done. I can confuse myself as well. It's absolutely bonkers. And by the way, for the TikTokers, I don't put no filters on. I really do look this old. So it's no facial. By the way, on TikTok, there's you've got loads and loads of filters on there to make yourself look young, pretty. You can have a nice, awesome jawline, pretty eyes, and stuff like that. I've just turned all that crap off because, like, if you come over to YouTube, you look at me on TikTok and you see like a beautiful, young, vibrant face, and then you come over to YouTube, it'd be like catfishing. I'd be the biggest catfish going. You'd be like, who's this guy? He ain't really that young. So TikTok, I've just turned all those filters off. You just see me for what I am and who I am. Hence why I get all the stick on Facebook for being called fat, being Porky. But hey, I might even change my name to that. So Porky the Dice Thrower. What else we got? So Nick's put, at tournaments, the terrain should be painted to a decent standard. Look, do you know what? Yes, my friend, I totally agree with you on that. If you're going to pay money to go to a tournament, one of the standard, the bare minimum you would expect at a tournament would be to have the terrain to a nice painted standard tournament style. And look, I know sometimes it's not easy if you're going to do a massive great event and you're going to do, like, let's say 150 tables, then to get every single one of those tables to a high tabletop standard, like, and I'm talking like if you went to Golden Demon on every table, that's not realistic, but to a table to be painted to a nice terrain style standard, yeah, totally expect that. I don't expect to turn up to a tournament and just see like cardboard cutouts, or I'd love to say one, but I really don't want to say name anyone or shame anyone, because that's not what this is about. This is kind of like getting more feedback from yourselves and seeing what you expect. But yeah, I'm in the same agreement with you on that terrain should be fully painted, and you know, it should represent what it is on the tabletop, and not turn up and see something that's there. Let's say, for argument's sake, you turn up to a tournament and someone's just gone, look, do you know what? I know you can't really see this well, but someone's just basically used old aerosol cans, not painted, not to maybe look anything different, but they're just there as line of sight blocking terrain. It's like going to your friend's house and just playing like Warhammer or something. You know, at the beginning of the game, there's nothing on the table, but by the end of it, you're absolutely sloshed, and there's like 20, 30 odd beer cans just stashed everywhere just to create that awesome line of sight blocking. By the way, that would be an absolute friggin' I don't know if we would get away with that on YouTube, to sit and drink beer and have a proper game of Warhammer, because I think that would be absolutely friggin' awesome. Can you imagine that? Playing Warhammer, absolutely getting sloshed, like your opponent's turn, you were there quickly just necking down these beer cans as quick as you can just to create a line of sight blocking terrain before he absolutely annihilates you. That'll be absolutely mental. That's what we got, and it's amazing that you can do with some plastic bottles and a pair of old scissors. Mate, 100%. Look, don't get me wrong, some of the terrain that I've made is out of junk, and that is probably one of the things that I like, because junk terrain, you can do something cool, creative with it, but it's cool if you do something with it, but if you don't do nothing with it, then yeah, that kind of sucks, and we don't want to see that, especially not in the tournament style. Yep, and then what we got next thing. So Nick's also put, I hate it when you rock up at the army, you've taken time, and your opponent has clearly brought most overpowered units. The moment brought from whoever is selling them on. Yeah, look, on that side, there's nothing you can really do upon that, Nick. It's kind of like I get your pain on that. There's been many times in the past, like with the Khorne Demonkin. Khorne Demonkin were, I suppose, for like a little brief second, they were really, really cool. But I was a big Chaos fan. I love my Chaos Space Marines. I love my Khorne Berserkers, and that for me was just like, boom, take my money. In fact, I actually bought the limited edition codex, and I think it was like 100 quid, 150, when Games Workshop were doing like stupid codexes at that time. And it was just like, yeah, take my money. I'll be like, yeah, I'll have it. And for the first couple of days, I think it was good, and then it was just like, yeah, it's not. But I didn't give up on it because I love the army so much. I just wanted to make sure it's painted to a nice tabletop standard, so we could just then, you know, it didn't matter if I turned up to a tournament and I lost. It's just like, yeah, look, I'm winning that painting competition, because my Bloodthirst is absolutely stunning, my Possessed are absolutely banging, so it didn't bother me, if that makes sense. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, but unfortunately on that side, nothing you can really do upon it, long as the army is fully painted, and it's to a nice, long as it's fully painted, I suppose. I don't want to say like to a nice tabletop standard, because that's a bit unfair, because I've got friends that, you know, they're absolutely friggin' awesome at 40k. Like, they play 40k like, let's call them the Queen's Gambit. You know, you can see that they'll put things down, and like their little brain will be working away, and they've already out 40, like in their head they've already won the game. And you're just like, oh yeah, I'll just put my little model there for some dice. But they're not good painters, but they're good players. You know, they'll they'll spray a model up, they'll dry brush and wash it. That's cool, man. Like, you know, but providing that you paint that up and just don't turn up to the army and it's just grey, because that like then kind of sucks. So what we going? There was a tournament I won't mention the name of. I'm gonna pre-read this before I read it out, because I don't wanna. It was 60 quid for the weekend. All you got was soup and sandwiches. Yeah, I don't know of that one, Will. So I don't want to comment on that one. I don't know nothing about that one. You may not want to name the venue, but yeah, again, not gonna mention that one neither. Can't really comment on that one, so it's a bit unfair. Look, yes, 100%. You can, Mick, you can drink by playing Warhammer 40k, but it's whether or not you're allowed to drink and record 40k and post it up on YouTube. I think there's like some form of like agreement arrangement or something like that. You're not allowed to drink and then post it. I think there's something in there that may get us like absolutely banned or shot down or something like that. So I don't really know. Listen, thank you very much everyone that's liked the stream so far. You guys and girls are absolutely freaking awesome. What else we got going on? So Alistair, so I hope they bring back Khorne Demon King. Do you know what, Alistair? That would be Kenneth, hi, my friend. Khorne Demon King would be an absolute friggin' awesome to bring army to bring back. Khorne Demon King were Like, it was an awesome idea. The only thing I didn't like about Khorne Daemonkin was you had no named characters. So, like, Khan the Betrayer was like one of my favouriteest characters in 40k at that time. And the fact that you didn't have him in the Khorne Daemonkin was kind of like, okay, that's interesting. But of course, like 6th edition, it was all about bringing the most dirtiest rubbish to the tabletop, and it didn't matter. You could just like, oh yeah, I just take that character from there and that character from there. You could do that, but Khan the Betrayer just didn't benefit from any of the Khorne Daemonkin stuff. And you know, the idea upon Khan getting him into battle was like he was going to get me blood type points. But of course he didn't do that because he wasn't Khorne Daemonkin, so it kind of like sucked a little bit about that, which was a shame. That was a real big shame. So yeah, so I suppose going back to where was the main conversation was like with the tournaments. Look, Khorne Daemonkin, I think one day we'll need to do a live stream where we just talk about chaos Space Marines. We talk about the Khorne Daemonkin, we talk about all the coolness and the good things that can come from that. Because look, Khorne Daemonkin, there's like chaos in just general. There's so much lore fluff that I would love to talk about. But today we've got to stick to the thing. We've got to talk about tournaments because we're so damn close to our first tournament. I'm like super excited. Been working very hard to get all the things in the background working up and running first before we do anything else. Oh, by the way, we've also got our Twisted Dice webpage up and running now. So after the stream, by the way, we're not going to be streaming for hours and hours today. I've got a strict time limit on what we can and can't do today. I've got so much going on, but if you get a chance, check it out, twisteddice.co.uk. It is still a work in progress, so at the moment it's not got all the singing bells and whistles and that, but it'd be really interesting to get feedback as well. So if any of you guys and girls are really cool and check it out and drop me a private message on Facebook, let me know what you think, what features that you would like to see on that webpage, that'd be absolutely freaking cool. And listen, I know for a fact that you guys and girls that join me on this live stream on a Sunday, you're open and honest, and I take criticism either way, whether it's good or bad, and it'd be really cool to get some feedback as well, and that'd be cool. So let's get back to the tournament scene. So with the layout that we've got coming out, what would you like to see? So what the plan is for ourselves is, with our tournament, if you've never been to a Twisted Dice tournament, what we've done in the past is the bottom end of the room has some really cool terrain. So it's not to an ITC format as such. It's more aesthetic, pleasing to the eye. So I've got a real bad problem with like OCD, where when I start setting up a table, and this is probably like a funny thing that people will tell you down the game club, when we start setting up the tables with the gaming mats, if a building is not, it's like over the street, or it's not set up and it doesn't look right on the mat, I can't for me in my head it's just like, yeah, I can't have that, and I'd go over and it'd be like, yeah, I've got to readjust that building's got to kind of sit within the foundations of that map. It's got to be in a certain way so it looks pleasing to the eye, and for me it kind of like adds to that experience, and I really want that to be the case. So bottom end of the room, it's more about stunning tables, stunning terrain, and making it more pleasing for the player. And as you go up the mid-range will be more to an ITC format, not totally, because obviously all the terrain that we own is not totally, if you went to like an ITC tournament where it's like you've got to have a specific layout, not all the terrain is set like that, and you can't, unfortunately, unless you want all the terrain to look absolutely frigging boring. We don't want that. But as you go towards the top of the room, so like at least your top 5 tables will be set to an ITC format. So as you get to those top 5 tables, I see that like those tables where people would be practicing on those type of style. So those tables would be set to a specific ITC format. So you would have the 2 L shapes. But I suppose really it's like, on that side of things, would you expect more of the ITC format? So my question is, would you expect to see more of an ITC format on like with the L shapes and the 2 hills and the trees, or would it not bother yourself, as long as you had line of sight blocking the terrain, especially in the middle? Because like, let's face it, you need something in the middle to stop those armies from like just sniping you turn one, because no one wants that, and it's not cool and it's not fun. So let's get back to the chat. So what, we missed anything on TikTok, so I do apologise for missing anything. And it is amazing what one can do. Yeah, I've read that one. Thank you for that. And then what else we got? So I hope they read that one. Hi guys, how is everyone doing? Voking. You got me, man. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Thanks for joining the conversation. And Will's Purrs. Rules for drinking on YouTube are simple. As long as you don't drink peer intoxicated, you can click the video for not for kids. You're fine. But clicking the video isn't for kid friendly. You lose viewers. By the way, Will, all our videos are set to isn't kid friendly. And we've always done that on YouTube. Maybe that's like why we've not got like massive amounts of views, but we've never set our videos to kid friendly. We don't, by the way, on battle reports, I don't think we've ever sworn on a battle report, or if we do and I catch it, I bleep it out, because that's kind of like one of my pet hates is when you're recording, you need to keep to that professional type battle report and try not to swear. By the way, like when we're playing the game, like, there'll be times where, you know, the F-bomb will be dropped. You know, you'd roll the dice and you'll get like, I don't know, you got 20 dice and all of a sudden you rolled like, say, 15 ones. And you're like, oh, we have to obviously bleep those parts out because we can't air those. And I'm always worried in the back of my mind that if we do drop those F-bombs in there, that's, you know, it'll come back and someone report us, or I don't know. And it's best not to do it, I suppose. But interesting about the Toxicate part. But then it kind of takes away from Beer Hammer then, because the whole idea about that Beer Hammer side is you drink until you just absolutely get so intoxicated that you can't fling dice anymore. And your mental compatibility, I can't even say it, but your mindset is so intoxicated that you don't think straight. So all of a sudden, so yeah, you've drunk loads and loads of beer or shots or something like to get that extra piece of train, but because you're so intoxicated, you can't think about the next move, and that's where your opponent takes the advantage of you. So that's my mindset upon it anyway. Thank you very much for the idiot that's the bot that's just want to become famous by followers, prime, and viewers on thing. No, thank you. If we don't gain them naturally, I'm not interested. So thank you for joining us on that one. And Mr. Ayres. Yeah, look, YouTube is 100% the morale police, and they do like to shut you down straight away. And what else we come? Hey, he's hit us twice on that. Wow. Do you know what, Will? I did think about that. So when we do the tournaments coming up in this next lot coming up in July, sorry, I was thinking about getting. I'd have to speak to the shop and see if we can get a screen down there and like in the afternoon, see if we can all go back there and do a Jackbox session. If you never played it, check it out. It's the most funniest damn game that you could ever play. And of course, when we've done the Scottish Takeover, a lot of us have crashed back at Will's house and we've been playing this game, and it goes to now. We would never be able to broadcast this stuff. Like I ain't gonna kid you. Like with Jackbox, it's like one of those games that the people you play, you have to make sure they are of the mind of not being an absolutely douchebag and the comments they say, even though they may be the most funniest damn things that will come out of one's mouth. They are not necessarily the type of thing that you want to broadcast on social media, Facebook or YouTube. And I would really worry, Will, that if we ever did do a game like that and we broadcast it, I just know for a fact that Proby's mum's going to be coming out on this one. And there'll be other things that I cannot say. And please do not say in the chat, Will. Please do not say in the chat. But there'll be other things that will come out in the conversation that it would absolutely shut it'd just be absolutely bonkers. Like someone will get offended and they'd be like, yeah, we're not even going to go there. And we knock that straight on the head. But yeah, we'll try to look upon that for the tournament in July and see if we can get that put up, because I think that'd be really, really cool. But yeah, as Jackpot goes, for us at Twisted Dice, we are never going to go there. We're not going to do it. So if you ever wanted to see us do something like that on Twisted Dice, we're not going to do it. It will kill us, and we'll be like dead in the water before we even know it. And we really don't want that. Will, sorry, Pip, 100%, mate. It wouldn't be PG. It would be of an 18+++. you'd have to put some form of disclaimer in there not to be offended. So snowflakes would not be able to watch this live stream. And the internet will just be absolutely crazy. God, I get called for being fat on camera. So can you imagine what would come out if like people watch that? No, we wouldn't do it. So going on to a TikTok comment. So does that mean that there are going to be Pacific Train tournament rules? So no. So the train itself is set in the Games Workshop rulebook, so you have to really follow the Games Workshop rulebook on that. And I suppose this is probably the first time that, as I believe, a tournament community, we're all abiding by that one rule set. So years ago or last year, ITC had their own format. So with terrain, bottom line of terrain was obviously line of sight blocking terrain. But with the new Games Workshop rulebook, it's pretty much saying anything over 5 inches is line of blocks, line of sight. Spit my damn words out. Line of sight blocking, and as I'm aware, everyone is abiding by that GT rule pack. So that's really, really important that we stick to that as well. So next comment. Sorry, I can't see your name. It's blurry. I've got my Twisted Dice logo in the background. I can't see your name, so I do apologise. Regarding to terrain, my personal choice is symmetrical terrain set up so that no player has the advantage. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one as well. There has been times that I have gone to certain tournaments and it's very, very themed board, but it's been a themed board where one side of the battlefield it's been like buildings, ruins, and on the other side of the battlefield it's been trees. So like on the eye, it looks absolutely friggin' awesome and stunning, like so visually pleasing. It was like, you know, awesome to play upon. But as it goes for a tournament side, it didn't work. In fact, I was the unlucky one to be setting off in the trees, and the Tau absolutely hammered me. And like that was back in 5th edition. Got absolutely friggin' annihilated before I even got up the battlefield. It's just like, okay, so I'm just rolling dice today to save my saving throws, and most of them I didn't even get to save because they were like the AP nonsense that came about, and it absolutely stunk. But yeah, good, really, really good point on that one. Line of sight, you know, train has to be symmetrical, and that's really, really important. So Mick has put, I've started painting my first ever 3,000 points. I'll be able with my Black Templars. I don't have the first clue about painting them, but I'm having a crack. My friend, if you are doing your thank you, the Evil Shadow, thank you very much for subscribing, my friend, much appreciated. If you are going to be painting up your Black Templars, check out the Tech Marine painting guide I've done. There's the first part of that is all about painting black. In fact, I think we've still got him. I don't know if we can. This is, by the way, this is going to be going off to I painted this fella up for one of our patrons, and this was just a way of saying thank you for all the support that he's given us. And you know, Steve's been one of our patrons like from day one, I think, and he's always commented on all our battle reports, etc., etc. But I ain't doing it because he's a patron. I've done it because he's been really, really cool for the channel, and the fact that he's, you know, just appreciate when people watch our content and you know, share the content and do various things. So because of that, it was just a way of saying thank you on that side. But you've probably seen him loads on our. If you haven't, check out our Facebook page. If you're on TikTok, there's a little video on there. Speed painting on that. But with that fella, I've done the black on him. So the black is. Oh, by the way, do you have an airbrush? That I suppose that would be the thing. Even if you don't have an airbrush, the colour scheme that I use for it, the greys and the blacks, which is Fenrisian black, the Fang, and Rust Grey, with a Baden black, they are some really, really cool colours to work upon blacks to get the highlights up. So if you're going to do it via paintbrush, it doesn't take too long, but with the right way, you can do some really cool effects. So yeah, check that out if you want some. That's if you want some help with choosing the blacks on that. Check it out because there'll be, you know, there's some cool bits on there that you might find interesting. I don't think I've done any other black ones. I don't think I've done any other black ones on there, but that's the colour scheme. That's the black I always do for like Black Templars, or if I've done like a Baden black in the past, that's pretty much what I've done. I've used that formula in the past, if that makes sense. So what else have we got going on? No more chat in TikTok at the moment. So what else have we got going on? Okay, so next one is drop the Orc Codex. No, P, 100%. Look, we're gonna have to have we will have a live stream on regards to the Orc Codex because I'm really super excited on what's going to come out for the Orc Codex. Look, by the way, I don't know nothing about I don't know nothing about what's going to come out for the Orc Codex. I know what I'd like to see come out of the Orc Codex, and I'll do a thing around that because there's some things that I would like to see happen, like some things I'd like to see them lose, some point changes I'd like to see in that. But of course, today's conversation is not about orcs. It's definitely about tournaments, and yeah, I still do 100% agree with you on that. TikTok, have you done any work with? I can't even read that. The writing is so small. Conductive paints, that green stuff world, and I'm really sorry, my friend. I can't even read what you put on there. Is it? I hate TikTok. I like TikTok, but I just find it so hard to read his conversation there. I think he's saying about the conductive paints, that green stuff world, and I'm guessing Citadel do. I haven't used Green Stuff World. I haven't used a lot of their paints. I'm trying to think of what I have used. I've used their chameleon paints, which they're all right. They are actually all right. Actually, I haven't done much with the chameleon paints, and there's something with the chameleon paints that once doing them, I like to do a little bit more with the paint itself, and it just doesn't fit my painting style, if that makes sense. But you can do some really cool stuff. I've done some cool stuff with Mikey's Necrons, tighten those up, and those chameleon paints were just like boom. It was his color scheme like he went with, but what we done to make them work, did come out really, really cool. So what we got? Wheels Bird fixed to Jackbox. You simply make a sister channel. Will, listen, mate. Jackbox is off the menu. I cannot be seen on live stream with you lot and Jackbox. It will end in tears. I do not want to be caught up, associated, or anything with it. Yes, it could be really, really funny, but I think it'll be one of those things that you'll be funny for the first hour, and then 100% that something will get said, and it will just, your name will just be dragged under it, and I just want to stay well away from that. So yeah, listen, Jackbox is a no. I don't even want to be part of a sister channel that does it neither. It's just absolutely bonkers. So then Underdog's Bird, Mick, the best thing you can find is jump straight in, and you'll get also how to do videos. So there might be Black Temple videos up. Yeah, 100% on that one. And I know there are loads of painting videos out on there. Obviously, as I said before, Twisted Dice has always been about battle reports, but with lockdown, it meant that we've had to change the way we operate and the things we do. So we've gone back into doing like painting videos. Yeah, look, I know our painting videos is not as best as some of the others, and I'm not known for painting videos. I get that, but what I'm trying to say is there's so many other cool people out there that do so many cool painting videos out there. It's definitely worth checking out. Squidmar, he's really good as well. I've seen loads of his videos and he's been really cool. One of the channels that I really love, and I'm just so gutted that he stopped doing it, and that was By Painted. That's the name of the channel, By Painted. His painting technique was just like, it's really cool. I'm just gutted that he never. The guy that does By Painted, his content was really, really cool, and it's definitely well worth like checking him out. And I know he doesn't do YouTube anymore, and it's a shame because I think he's kind of gone with other things. But hopefully in the future he might come back to it because he's got a really unique paint style. And I think a lot of the stuff that I've learned at the beginning of airbrushing, especially, was from his videos. I found his videos very intuitive. I found it very useful. So yeah, definitely go check him out. And if he does ever come back to the fold and actually start doing painting videos again, we welcome him back because he's absolutely friggin' awesome fellow. By the way, I've never met him before. I don't even know that fella's name. Maybe one day I'll see him at one of these conventions or a tournament or Warhammer tournament. But yeah, it'd be good to catch up with him because I think he done some really cool stuff. Another one, Mantic can't remember the guy's name. Mantic is the guy that has like the hands, the skeleton hand with the paintbrushes in it. He's really good. Cult Paint, they do some really cool painting videos as well. So there are some really cool stuff. And of course, Underdog, he does some really cool painting videos as well. So if you haven't already, check him out. I know he's fishing for that. But he can come and tell you when we do a live stream next week or the week after. He can come tell you that himself. Thank you, my friend. Much appreciated on that. No pie. Oh, I think I said that right. Mr. Fox, my friend, you're like an hour too late. But thank you for joining us anyway. I'm only messing. Thanks, Dave. You guys are absolutely freaking awesome. Oh, thanks for that. So I'm really various on how conductive paints work. I'm not. I can have a look into that, my friend, and I'll check that out, and I'll do something on that for you. I'll check that out. What else we got going on? Yeah, I brought a battery-powered airbrush, undercoated them, black to start. Interesting about the battery airbrush. I've never really used that. We will go into that on another video. We've got to stick to the plan. I'm easily getting diverse off topic, so do apologise. I can, as you can tell, I am male and I cannot concentrate more than one thing at one time. So let's get on to the next thing. So the next thing I was thinking about with the live streaming, what would your thoughts be if we set up a ability of doing like a call-in session? So like you've got like LBC, or you've got like I'm trying to think, it's like, I don't know, the BBC channels where people call into the radio station and they talk about, you know, a topic on fit. So for instance, where we're talking about like the tournament side, have that ability so someone to join into that conversation just for a brief couple of minutes and just talk about their points of view, and then, you know, have that discussion. What would be your thoughts on it? Would that be something that would be of an interest to yourself? Are you planning on getting some of the Penance and Paint box set? Do you know what, my friend? I haven't actually seen it. As I said, like this week. Sorry, by the way, TikTok just messaged on TikTok popped up. So if you haven't seen that on the main thing, I haven't found a way of joining TikTok onto this yet. No, I haven't looked upon those yet, but we'll have a look at those later on and see how much they are. It depends on the cost at the moment, because I've just kind of blown a little bit too much money this month, and of course hopefully my wife's not listening to this, because if she realised how much I've spent, I think I'm going to be in a doghouse. So it might have to wait until 2 or 3 months down the line, but if I can, I'll have a look into it if it's not too bad. Maybe a unique take on the sisters for a paint scheme. Ooh, that's a good one. Do you know what? I haven't actually done a Sisters of Battle army yet, but it's something we do need to look upon. And then Dave's put, I've really been busy with my Iron Warriors Raptors for the first. Why I'm a bit late. Listen, my friend, no worries at all, my friend. Anyway, look, we're coming up to the end of the live stream now, so I just want to say a massive great thank you to everyone that's joined us on TikTok and joined us on YouTube, Facebook, any way that you're watching us. Thank you so much. You guys and girls have been absolutely freaking awesome. Catch me next week. It may be a slightly different setup than I normally do. So at the moment I've got the laptop, but because we're going back into battle reports next week, I'm going to be giving this laptop to Ace so he can actually do some video editing. So it's not all myself, just so we can make sure we can keep the content flowing. So I've just got to figure out another setup and how we set up our live stream going forward next week. Anyway, love and leave you. Thanks again so much for joining us, and hopefully I'll catch you all again next Sunday from